Sexual energy is the most powerful force we have available to us to work with. And when you learn to move this energy through your body, to express it in ways other than ejaculating it out as a man, then you have much more creative power. You have more confidence. You have more ability to affect the world, to be magnetic, to bring abundance into your life. You can use this raw creative energy and turn it into absolutely anything that you want. But there is a certain process you need to follow to be able to do this. I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. If you want to learn more about sexual mastery, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you get my free ejaculation control guide through the link in the video description below. So in this video, I'm going to explain the secrets of transmuting sexual energy. Sexual energy is raw creative power, and it also has the ability to amplify things, to multiply things. When you work with sexual energy, it's like working with atomic firepower. I mean, just think of the shift that happens when you become aroused. Your body feels alive. You feel more in the moment. Your breath deepens, sensations are increased. We use the word turned on to describe this because it really does turn on your life force. That's what your sexual energy does. And you can turn on any aspect of your life that you want with this. And I believe that this was meant to be a function of our sexual energy and our sexual experience, but we were not trained to be aware of this. We were trained to do the opposite, to waste our sexual energy through excessive ejaculation, through impulsive sexual behavior. So there's obviously a bit of a readjustment period. We're learning to reconnect with this energy and no longer be controlled by it, but to direct it into the things that you want, to make your life the way you want it to be. Taking control of your sexual energy means taking control of your life. You become a creator at the wheel instead of being a slave in a system. So the starting point of this process of transmuting your sexual energy is, first of all, as a man, you must allow this energy to build up. That means to start practicing semen retention. Don't ejaculate every time you have sex. You don't need to go forever without ejaculating, but I recommend going at least a week to start with without ejaculating. Notice what happens when this energy starts to build up. And when that gets comfortable, you can go 2 weeks, you can go a month. But we need to stop this leak of our jing, our physical essence, because it's this raw sexual energy stored within the sperm, within our semen. That is what we're going to work with. That is the container of our sexual energy. And when we ejaculate it out, we cannot build up a sexual charge. We have nothing to transmute. By going periods of time without ejaculating, now you start to build up a reservoir of this sexual energy. And if you've been jerking off every day for years at a time, which most men have, then it's going to take a bit to rebuild this jing, this vitality. But once you build it up, now you really have a powerhouse. And now the next step is that you need to create a new pathway in your body, in your energy body, for the energy to flow in. Most men have programmed one way for their sexual energy to flow, and that's outward, ejaculating it out. It's a one-way trip. And in sexual kung fu, we create a new pathway for the energy to be moved, circulated upwards in the body. The main way we do this is by working with the microcosmic orbit, the main energy channel of the body, which travels from the perineum up the spine, down the front of the body. Think of this as your energetic superhighway of the body. There's many different energy channels, and it can get quite complex to try to learn them all, but it's not important for this process. All you need to know is the microcosmic orbit, because this channel connects to all the other meridians of the body and feeds them. It's like the deep reservoir. Check out my testicle breathing guided video to learn how to start opening this new pathway in your body. So by opening up this channel, first of all, it gives you a new pathway for your sexual energy to flow, an internal pathway, so that instead of ejaculating it out and losing it, you can start to redirect this energy inwards. And this is regardless of whether you're having sex or not. Just building up this energy is the first key, but then you want to keep it circulating through your body, and you need a pathway to do this, because if you just leave that energy stagnant in your testicles, you're not going to get the highest benefit from it. It's going to get stuck. So by working with the microcosmic orbit, getting familiar with it, you start to ingrain a new way for your sexual energy to flow. And this is the most essential process of transmuting your sexual energy, is now it's moving through your entire body instead of staying locked in your genitals. First of all, your sexual energy is going to be fluid moving through your body, which is an important part of the transmutation process. But this also opens up the potential for you to have non-ejaculatory sex and non-ejaculatory orgasms, which is, who wants to be celibate and do this stuff? Not me. You can get the best of both worlds by learning to have non-ejaculatory sex. Another important process of this is reconnecting your heart center and your sexual center. For men, these two areas are split because we were programmed to have a very lustful, porn-conditioned experience of sex and sexuality. And what happens is men become completely separated. Their hearts are closed down, disconnected from their sexual energy. These two energy centers are meant to communicate together. The sexual energy represents our water element, raw passion, raw embodiment, the desire to procreate and to continue species, basic survival instincts, primal nature. And that's this lustful experience, this lustful nature. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's an important part of our experience here in physical reality. But when this becomes our sole experience of sex, it becomes limited. Water wants to flow down and outward out of our bodies, so it wants to ejaculate. When we only have a lustful connection to sexuality, we're always going to be driven to ejaculate, and we're actually never going to find true fulfillment, because sex is about more than just fucking something and ejaculating into it. It's about connecting. It's about connecting with yourself. It's about merging, bonding, connecting deeply and intimately, lovingly with another being. So the heart energy represents the fire elements, this expansive, loving, light energy, very ethereal energy. When you connect and get these two energy centers to communicate, the fire mixes with the water and creates a steam. It transforms your sexual energy to a new form. Instead of it being this heavy, dense energy that drives you to ejaculate, your sexual energy is going to be lighter. The fire of the heart raises the vibration of your raw, sexual, lustful energy. These two qualities, love and lust, combine, and now you have a much lighter, more sustainable experience of sexual energy and desire, and that causes your sexual energy to be much easier to redirect through your body. It wants to move upward now. It wants to stay within the body and to circulate internally instead of being ejaculated. And this will also bring you much more fulfillment in your sexual connection, in your relationships, because lust alone never satisfies. You always want more. It's like binging on dessert. You always want more and more, and then you overdo it and you feel like shit. It's the same thing with lust. But when love is there, it balances it out, and that's what brings true fulfillment. A simple way to start connecting your heart with your sexual energy is to simply breathe between these two energy centers. Place one hand on your genitals, one hand on your heart. And as you inhale, feel like you're breathing up the water of your sexual center up into the heart. And as you exhale, feel like you're sending that radiant heart fire down to warm up and radiate your sexual center. And then the final piece of this is that you must have creative outlets to put this energy into. If your life is dull, if you're unfulfilled with what you're doing in life, if you're not exercising, if you don't have productive outlets to put your energy into, if you're not engaging your creative faculties, then you're going to feel really stuck. And adding more of this sexual fire into your life is only going to amplify that feeling of stagnance. So it's really important that you change your lifestyle, because as you're increasing your energetic input, you also want to increase your energetic output. You have to have a purpose to put this energy into. What are you transmuting this energy into? What are you creating in the world with this energy? If you're just sitting on your ass doing nothing, you're going to have a crisis. So stop sitting around. It's time to take action. It's time to ask yourself, where am I going with my life? What do I want to do? How can I start to get there? Find what excites you. Find what your passion is. Do things that challenge yourself. Learn to play a musical instrument. Engage your creative abilities. And that will really help to give this energy something to be channeled into. Channeling it into be a better lover, channeling it into building a business, channeling it into creating art. These are important outlets for your sexual energy. So when you're putting all these things together, you're building up your energy, you're circulating it through your body, you're connecting it with the loving energy of your heart, and you have a project of purpose to put it into. You're going to become a master of transmuting sexual energy, and you're going to have a massive amount of power behind you, driving you on your journey. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions about more specific aspects of transmuting sexual energy, let me know in the comments below. If you're ready to dive into this, to start connecting with your sexual energy, learn to circulate it through your body, have non-ejaculatory orgasms, and last as long as you want during sex, check out my male sexual mastery course. I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. Take care, my friends.